Sadler to discuss the iconic movie series franchise Die Hard. And William, I suppose I'll start off with the same question I asked Reginald. How did the opportunity come arise or cast for you to be cast in Die Hard 2 as Colonel Stewart?
I was cast as Colonel Stewart in part because I had done the first episode of a show called Tales from the Crypt for HBO, and one of the executive producers on that was Joel Silver. And it was really the first thing that I did in Hollywood that sort of brought me to the attention of several producers and all the directors. It was a little half-hour. I don't know if you're familiar with the show.
Yeah.
Tales from the Crypt. But in any case, Joel Silver was one of the executive producers, and shortly after that, when he was getting ready to do the Die Hard 2, my agent got a call and said, "Would you come in and meet with them, meet with Bruce Willis and Rennie Harlan, the director, and so on?" And of course I did. They seemed to think I was a good match for that character.
And William, I suppose you would have already seen Die Hard, the first movie, before you were, so you would have known what you were going to getting yourself into in relation to Die Hard 2 and the massive potential it had, and a potential for yourself to have on your career as well. And when you saw the script originally for the Colonel Stewart character, what was in your mind in relation to what sort of take or portrayal did you want to portray him? Did you have any sort of current rogue generals that were at the time in the media or thing that you wanted to base the character around, or what was your own sort of a take that you wanted to bring to the Colonel Stewart character?
Well, when I had, of course, I had seen the first Die Hard.
Yeah.
And I thought it was just phenomenal. I thought it was really a terrific, exciting movie. So there was a fair amount of apprehension on my part, because I knew the second one was going to be compared to it.
Yeah.
I mean, there's always that. Whenever you do the sequel to a popular movie, there's always a very real possibility that the audience is going to see it and say, "Oh, it wasn't as good as the first one."
Yeah.
You know? But in reading the script, I felt it wasn't really trying to be the first one.
Yeah.
It was very different. It was different location, different situation, lots of outdoor,
Scenes, yeah.
action sequences and fight scenes and snowmobile chases and all of this stuff. And I was just, to be honest with you, I was a kid. This was one of my very first films.
Yeah.
I had just gotten to Hollywood a couple of years before that. I didn't really, I'll tell you a funny story. It launched a lot of things for me because it was going to be such a visible movie. I knew everybody in America was going to see it, and a lot of folks around the world.
Yeah, that's true.
Which was frankly one of the reasons why when they suggested that I be nude in that opening sequence,
Was that an idea of Rennie Harlan to show the psychotic nature of the character to that bizarre introduction?
I believe that's exactly what they were thinking. It's an amazing way to introduce a character because you have no idea who this is, who's having a fight with imaginary people in a hotel room naked.
Yeah.
But you sure as hell don't want to mess with him. It seems so extreme
Yeah, that's true.
You have no idea what he's up to, but it can't be good. And whatever you do, don't get in his way.
Mm.
You know?
Yeah, and I suppose...
It's very motivating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I suppose, William... when you look at the Die Hard and you look at Colonel Stewart and how the words that would portray him, I suppose, obsessed in his way, paranoid with power, cold, sort of heartless. It was a different sort of take to the Simon Gruber character in Die Hard 1, who was Cannevious and cunning. This was a tactically sort of no-nonsense sort of character, Colonel Stewart, who had meticulous in everything he does, from point of execution, every little fine detail. Even his colleagues were so in fear of him that one mistake to them could result in their death by his hands. And there was a terrific scene where Miller comes back from the airport and he's panicking and he's grieving about the loss of his colleague Cochrane, and he comes to you and he says, we've lost Cochrane, and you turn around and say, did you complete your objective? And he says he did, but what about Cochrane? And he said, that's a minimal loss. And you turn around and you put the gun to his head, but if you fail me again, you'll be bearing on my hands. So the idea of his soldiers they were elite, they were just pawns, like chess pieces to him to achieve his plot. Yeah.
He's so committed to the mission. I think that's maybe what one of the things that I found attractive about the character. He's cold as ice.
Yeah.
But I mean, as far as how cruel he could be, how committed he is. But it's fun to play people who are that extreme, I find.
Yeah.
You know, and also, he also has tremendous courage, and he's very smart. He's a tactician, he's a soldier, he's brave, he's all of these good qualities as well. He's just playing for the wrong team. If he would make a terrific general on the good guy's side if he didn't have this. He'd kind of be a terrific hero if only he went for, such a playing for the wrong team.
And the shoot...
I also found interesting.
Yeah?
No, I also found it interesting. People ask me sometimes, do you mind playing villains?
Yeah.
And to be honest, they can be an awful lot more fun, I think, than playing heroes. Heroes have to be good. Have to be honest. There are rules. There are no rules for villains. There are no rules for the knife fight. You can be as deliciously evil as you want.
Yeah, that's true.
And in fact, the more fun you have being evil, the more delicious. You can't have James Bond without Dr. No.
Yeah.
You can't have a great hero without a great villain. You just can't. So they're a lot of fun. I enjoyed that movie tremendously.
Yeah, and I suppose William...
I mean, I guess it's sort of... I got cast as military villains again and again, hard asses and so on. That's kind of what Hollywood does.
Yeah, they set you into a stone once you...
show them one color.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're very successful at playing this one color for them, they go, I know who he is. Yeah, no, he's that.
Yeah, and
they're happy to use you as that again and again, but they don't want to see you do a comedy or Shakespeare or, a kindly physics professor or
suppose, William, when you look at the Die Hard and the production, I suppose Die Hard 1, I was talking to Reginald, he said it took at least five months to shoot the whole film. And I suppose with Die Hard 2, with everything that was going on in relation to the scenes and the locations, from the airplane, the carriers, to the snowmobile chases, to the church scenes, I imagine it took a very long time production, and I presume there was multiple locations and multiple shoots casting over a long period of time. And I even heard there was even a change to your death scene, that in the original scene that you were supposed to actually die on the outside of the airplane with that fight with McClane. Is that true?
I don't think that's, I don't recall it ever being a different death for Colonel Stewart. I think the fight on the wing of the plane was pretty baked in the cake. It was choreographed, and it was in the original script. And it's a wonderful twist, because you think he's going to get away.
Yeah, that's the first one that you think he's on all the Die Hard films.
Beats the crap out of.
Yeah.
Right. He beats the crap out of Bruce Willis and kicks him off the wing of the plane, and they're getting away. That's all. He wins.
Yeah.
Until he lights the fuel. The thing about we did jump around a lot. We needed two things. We needed snow.
Yeah.
So that we could pretend it could look like there was a terrible snowstorm going on.
Yeah.
And we needed an airport that we could shut down. Or a part of an airport where we could film on the tarmac. And we went and we shot in Denver, Colorado. And there was snow in Denver, so we all went to Denver. And the next day the sun came out and it started melting, and we couldn't film. And then we went to Breckenridge, Colorado.
Yeah.
And then Alpena, Michigan, Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan. We just bounced all over the place. Lake Tahoe, I think. I mean, it worked out. It must have driven the editors crazy to, have to stitch all of these different locations together. But we had to have snow. We had to have enough snow to look like we were fighting in the snow.
Yeah. And what was your say?
And the plane was.
Yeah, continue.
I'm sorry?
Yeah, continue.
I was going to say the fight on the wing of the plane, they built half of the plane. They built an enormous wing and half of the fuselage of the plane on the sound stage in Los Angeles at Fox Studios, and set up these giant wind machines, these great big fans and blue snow, all this. That all happened indoors.
Yeah, and I suppose, William, the Colonel Stewart character, we all know he's rogue, sort of terrorist nature, he's hatred for communism, and even that sort of a scene there, the grotesque scene where the young recruit is just transferred over to the cast of John, the force of John Amos and Grant's team, and they're in the sort of truck behind, and he's saying the pity that you didn't come with us, and the slitting the throat scene, and the intense sort of nature, the all out sort of what he took from Die Hard 1, that there was the real sort of killing, the real sort of gore. It didn't hold back in Die Hard 2 as well. Scenes like that, it would just sort of grip the sort of viewers, like, how could he do something like that, just slit the young guy's throat and stuff like that. And it was powerful and imaging, and I suppose as well, in relation to Die Hard 2, the stunts and the actions and the effects and the explosions and the whole plane crashing, I imagine that watching that as well as an actor, you must have been on your first big massive movie set like Die Hard. You must have been blown away yourself by all the special effects and the whole plane crashing scenes and all that.
Oh, absolutely. And if I
that shows there was a big production budget anyway, that's for sure.
Well, they're practical effects. They just put a lot of high-speed cameras around and blew up a real model of a plane. So they could, you'd never do it that way today. You could do the whole thing digitally, but there was no digital then.
Yeah.
You could add the snow digitally now. I mean, it's sort of a different. It's such a different process these days.
Yeah. And
we were blowing soap flakes at us and instant potatoes. They started with plastic snowflakes that they blew at us, and when they ran out of those, they moved to potato flakes.
Yeah.
And when they ran out of those, they used soap flakes, like detergent, which were awful because you'd get a little speck in your eye and it would burn like hell and you'd have to stop filming. I wouldn't do any of that today. I think you'd probably do it all digitally.
And I suppose, William, even the snowmobile chases and those stunts like that, did you get the opportunity to perform any of your own sort of stunts? And I suppose those scenes where with the sort of the gun scenes where you're shooting the sort of the the blanks rounds against Colonel Grant's team, and before McLean realised they're blanks, and the snowmobile chases, and I suppose they were, for you, all those action scenes, I suppose there were an awful lot of fun on set and fun on shooting, and you must have some funny stories or some fond memories or some real bloopers that put you all bursting out laughing shooting some of those scenes.
I think there's one moment that comes to mind. I grew up on a farm outside of Buffalo, New York, and I spent my entire childhood running around the barn with my friends with a BB gun.
Yeah.
Diving out of haylofts and coming up shooting, being captured by the Germans and then escaping, and we'd make up these adventures, and a great deal of my childhood was spent, pretending, in this sort of improvisation, pretending. When we got to filming Die Hard, there was a scene where we're all around the nose of a plane, down the plane is in the cockpit, and we opened fire with automatic weapons, right?
Yeah.
We're all standing around, and we're firing blanks.
Yeah.
They're real weapons that are loaded with real blanks.
Yeah.
So, there's glass flying everywhere. It's raining these hot shell casings and so on. But after the very first take, the sound mixer on the set, Tim Cooney came over to me and he said, "Bill, you don't have to make that sound with your mouth." Because apparently I was still 10 years old.
Yeah.
My BB gun going.
Yeah.
I was making all the sounds with my mouth.
Wow. And I suppose.
I felt like I spent my whole childhood rehearsing to play that guy.
And I suppose working with Bruce and John Amos and Dennis Franz there as well, and how did you find them to interact? I suppose this was Bruce's second big blockbuster. He's returned to Die Hard. I suppose talking to Reginald Johnson, the first one, he was more in. The Reginald said that it was a learning experience for him, the first one. How did you find Bruce to work in the second one? Was he intent to trying topping Die Hard 1, and did the interactions, or what sort of interactions did he have with you in relation to improv scenes or role plays that he might, in the original script, that he might said, well, let's tweak this, or let's make this bit of change that we didn't know about or didn't hear about, the interactions between yourself and Bruce during filming?
Well, there's only, I think, two moments in the script where Colonel Stewart and John McClane meet.
Yeah.
One
That's
in the airport when they bump into each other.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, that's true.
And I found Bruce to be, a terrific acting partner. He took the job seriously. He was very committed, but he was totally professional to work with. With me, anyway. I can't speak for anyone else on the set, but they're long hours, and I think he was very conscious of the fact that the first one, people were expecting a lot. You can't, with the sequel, and he went for it, And the other thing that was interesting, I just found him respectful and funny, and he was a good acting partner on the set. He's obviously the 800-pound gorilla still.
Yeah. And I suppose, William, when you look at the Die Hard franchise, we all think Die Hard 1, Die Hard 2, and then Die Hard with a Vengeance in 1995. But then the sort of series sort of went away for a while, and it came back then with this Die Hard 4.0 and the Die Hard 5. And many people would say when you relate to Die Hard, it's really Die Hard 2 and Die Hard 3. And how do you feel about the franchise as well? Would that be in your own mind when you look at Die Hard, you would say 1, 2 and 3, and how would you view what came after you in relation to the Die Hard series? Do you think maybe after the third one was the time maybe that its series should have finished, or are you a follower, or do you like the two recent editions, Die Hard 4.0 and Die Hard 5?
I sort of think that by the time they got to 4 and 5, they were sort of stretching it a bit, because there's a tendency to just make it bigger, more explosions and more gunfights and more, more big dramatic pieces like that. I mean, I understand I understand
the reasoning for it.
Keep the franchise going. But it just sort of starts to stretch credulity believability, that it's the same guy and he's in another situation.
20 years on,
he's met another group of terrorists that he has to bring down by himself or with his buddy. I'm glad I did number 2. They didn't wait around and bring me in for number 5 or 4. I think they're good movies. I just don't.
You don't relate them to the Die Hard franchise. You think there's something different.
It's a hard thing to do a sequel, and it's an even harder thing to keep tuning them out, and have each one of them be surprising and be a great film.
Yeah, and I suppose, William,
that's a hard thing to do.
And I suppose, William, for Die Hard, it sort of launched yourself onto the global stage as well, and you follow with major blockbusting titles in Shawshank Redemption and The Green Mile. And when you got those sort of roles, did you look back into Die Hard in relation, well, there's pointers or things that I learned during my time shooting Die Hard 2 that I can bring into the Green Mile and the Shawshank Redemption? And did the experience of Die Hard really set you up for those sort of roles? Would the Die Hard coming before the Shawshank Redemption and the Green Mile, did that work out, you think, for your career better that it came before those, or would you think that it wouldn't have made much of a difference if Die Hard had came after those two movies for you?
To be honest, I had spent so many years doing theater. I studied it for 6 years, and then I did it for 11 years in New York, including a year and a half on Broadway. I had done theater for so long before I did my first movie, which was Project X.
Yeah, that's true,
And there's a bit of a learning curve. I mean, it took me the first few movies to understand
let you...
Which, by the way, although...
Yeah?
Yeah.
William, I suppose before... William, before we wind down, I suppose, in relation to some of your iconic quotes in Die Hard, who I am is unimportant. What I want, well, if you don't want those planes to start splashing into the Potomac because they run out of fuel, what I want is very important. Happy landings, I can't say the word and sort of things that we gotcha, in relation to the British airplane coming down. Sometimes short little sentences like that is what people remember the Colonel Stewart character for. And before we let you go, if you had to describe Colonel Stewart in your own words, and there was a dictionary saying Colonel Stewart, and there was 2 sentences underneath that, what would you like those 2 sentences to read, William?
Put me on the spot.
No,
I think if you define Colonel Stewart as a tremendously committed, pathologically committed to his goal, unstoppable, and willing to sacrifice anything and everything to achieve his objective. He is a man who prides himself on being unstoppable. That's all. You're not going to... You can throw anything in his path and he'll knock it down and get where he's going. You know?
Yeah. William, it's been an absolute...
pathologically committed.
Yeah. William, it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you, and we'll wish you all the best in your future endeavours, mate. Cheers.
Hey, cheers to you, Jim. Thank you.
Cheers. Bye.